he gets to be a bigger gladiator and a puppet, and he gets to crush Beck. And then later, a phony Republican leader, he gets to come along and crush Beck. He gets to come along and crush Obama, who crushed Beck. And then there'll be another Democratic leader that crushes him. This is all a diversion while you're in the bleachers watching your liberty be destroyed inside the gladiatorial system. That is an incredibly good picture right there. All right, that's enough. Let's bring Rob Dew in. Rob is coming in. It'll take him a moment to get situated. Yes, we're going to do a bunch of flu shows. We've done a bunch of flu shows. We're going to cover a bunch of flu news coming up this week and next week with a bunch of other medical doctors and Tenpenny and Quayle, who's not a doctor, but Horowitz and others are going to be coming on to go over all of this. But yes, there's mercury in it. Yes, it's causing all sorts of illnesses in the trials. Yes, they're planning on forced inoculations. Tell folks, Rob Dew, what this particular document is here you have.
All right, I got a document sent to us. It's entitled H1N1 Pavex Swine Flu Vaccine, and this was given out to healthcare workers in Australia mainly. And it's to train them on how to administer the vaccine, the schedules.
It's the same one, H1N1 Pavex. Show folks.
Pavex.
There's the PDF that government of Western Australia. Yeah. And we got the same. This is all a carbon copy, just with local rules of the level 6 UN document we've covered on air.
Right, exactly.
Oh, and look what the witches are making.
Right, slide 16 is a pretty interesting one. It's got the witch's brew, and it says what's in it. And it lists the stuff that's in there. And on slide 18, it admits that there's thimerosal and that it can be toxic after it reaches certain levels in the body. And it said, but there's no evidence that it'll cause neurological developments or abnormalities.
Yeah, they just admit that mercury does it. Yeah, it's toxic.
But it won't cause these specific things. It's not going to cause ADHD or autism. And then they made changes. Basically, they want to give the younger kids 2 doses of the vaccine. And if you're 10 or older, they only want to give you 1 dose.
So, well, here it's 3.
Yeah.
Dr. Obama says. And again, we're not saying there's going to be quarantines and forced inoculations. The government is saying they're preparing for it. We're trying to politically get the word out so the enforcers, the nurses, the doctors, the police say no, so the whole program falls through. And that's now starting to happen. But we're not out of the woods yet. No. We're in the fight, but we're not out of the woods yet here.
Yeah, so we're going to put this document up online. I sent it to him with a little article on the slides that I thought were more interesting, for people to look at and educate themselves. So take a look at it. It's about 80 pages long, but it's a quick read. It's a slideshow, basically, from a company called CSL. They're one of the biggest manufacturers of the vaccine in the Southern Hemisphere. So they stand to make a lot of money, of course.
We're now going into full swing flu season. It's killed not even 1,000 people yet in the U.S. Regular flu kills 30-something thousand. Why are we taking a vaccine for this? Well, we know they've been caught before adding cancer viruses and sterilants to them. And the White House science czar, in his own book, Eco Science, calls for it. What does that sound like to you?
Sounds like eugenics.
Let's roll our sleep. No, let's drink the fluoride. Right. I mean, it only causes bone cancer and brain damage. I mean, let's trust them. Come on.
Yeah, and they've been listed pregnant women, indigenous people, healthcare workers.
They need it especially, those indigenous
people. I thought that was interesting that they just put indigenous people on there. And
by the way, the autoimmune disorders that vaccines cause when a woman is pregnant, you're never supposed to take vaccines when you're pregnant.
Right.
And what do you think of my artwork?
Yeah, it's awesome. Do you go to the Art Institute?
It is.
It really illustrates the paradigm of the squared circle.
Maybe somebody like one of the great directors out there, like Enough Respect, will take it and turn it into an animation.
Right.
Like he did with my left-right paradigm one before, where I described it as a pillar instead of as a gladiatorial arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be interesting. And then just take shots of gladiator people getting hacked to death. But anyway, that's going to be up. Kurt's going to post that.
Hey, look at this. Even the Mail Online, big newspaper, says, has Osama bin Laden been dead for 7 years, and are U.S. and Britain covering it up to continue the war on terror? I mean, even mainstream news is talking like us now, and the Intel Center, known CIA run, is uploading new ones. I mean, there's just no end to it.
Well, they're going to keep using them until, I think even if we had physical proof that he was dead, they'd say, "Oh, that's just a fake imposter." The real Bin Laden's making tapes and sending them in. I don't think they'll.
Will our great grandchildren on the Mars base
be scared of Osama bin Laden?
It'll be like the boogeyman. Look out, Bin Laden's under your bed, and people will believe it. And it'll be, he was seen. A man with a turban was seen on the Mars base.
Right.
We got to take the shots. But we're not going to. But we're not going to Mars. We're just going to die right here with a eugenicist running around in an orgy of death and killing.
Yeah, it's a shame because Mars probably. Well, I hear it has a blue sunset anyway.
Get your ass to Mars.
All right, that's all I have.
All right, thank you so much for popping in with us there.